What's going on, guys? I want to make a new video for you. I do feel like a lot of my videos as of recent is becoming repetitive because I'm talking a lot about the same issues over and over, and I noticed that a lot of you guys are not picking up some of the things that we talk about in MIC and on the losing charts. You know, we talk about the max daily loss, the hard stops, all that. But above that, guys, if you're still struggling, you need to be honest with yourself if you're watching all the videos. Like every single week, you should be starting from Monday, the YouTube live, the Instagram live on Tuesday, Tasha's new member webinar Wednesday. I listen to it every week at the gym because there's always golden nuggets. I skip the beginner stuff and then I listen to when Bao and them usually come on, or when they used to have Joe. And then Austin's webinars are gold. You need to be doing these things. If you are still struggling and hemorrhaging money, and you're not at least showing up for those four things, then I don't know what to tell you. You're just going to keep hemorrhaging money. But if you want to take this seriously, guys, I get DMs every single day. We have a lot of videos, but a lot of our videos have very specific titled topics. You can use the search bar, and you will find exactly what you need. So when I get a DM asking, you know, what is a hard stop, or a DM saying, you know, how do I short a VWAP projection? Like, guys, all been done. There's not a topic in this that isn't covered, right, in the library. So let's move on from that. I see a lot of you guys struggling with entries and exits, so I want to go over that. First off, I think everyone needs to practice drawing lines. And if you cannot draw the perfect lines, you know, after a little bit, then you really shouldn't, in my opinion, be trading. And I say that because until you can at least mark down the perfect entries and lines, it's just going to be really hard for you. It's going to be hard for you to determine when to get in, when to get out, and trade our style. You need to, one, watch the video, how to draw lines. You need to look at Alex's watch list and reverse engineer his lines and figure out why he's seeing that. My biggest tip, always, I have two, is always put a 5-minute chart. And well, what I do is I put a 5-minute chart and I draw, like, let me just cut off this. So like, this is just pre-market basically, and this is like what I saw. Let's cut it to there. Cut it to there. So pre-market, you know, you have this 930 line. You have this 430, 460. You can see that clear as day on the 5-minute, right? And then everyone should be putting I do it, a colored line at high of day, because you know, as a short seller, that is your make or break spot on stopping out on a broken stock. If a stock reclaims that, it's not fucking broken anymore. So you need to get the fuck out, and you need to have a reminder there until you are in control. I do it almost every day. I put a high of day colored line just so I can at least notice and remember that, right? I automatically just put a hard stop there. It's there. So first things first, once you've identified how to draw lines, right? Now, you have your line set. And this is where screen time does come into play. Over time, you will find the confidence in seeing, wait a second, if I'm drawing the right lines and I'm patient for those lines and I only size at my best lines, then this is golden. I found the golden ticket, right? And you find that your lines, for the most part, hold out throughout the morning. So what I mean by that, first off, I want to say something first. I'm only shorting stocks that are broken, right? I'm not attacking the hot chicks. And the only reason I'm shorting usually any stock, especially when they're even above VWAP, is because there's other stocks moving. So as soon as the market opens, which today there was 2 or 3 other names moving besides EVK and BT and what was that other one? DLPN. That allowed me to short these comfortably and use size without worry, right? So now, I have my lines drawn. All that comes to do next is just waiting for them. If you guys see my entries, I had my 430 line, which I had some fantasy orders pre-market, and then my 460 line. That's all I did. I had orders there, orders here, and you know what? Because I was patient, and a lot of times people get grinded out. They short here, they short here, they short here. By the time it gets here, they're covering on these little dips for a small loss because they're so scared. I was just patient for my line. It hit my spot, and boom, right? This is a little recap of my trades today. Boom. We had that nice flush into the open, and it was now completely broken. Other stocks moving, right? It broke through my 430 line, and at this point I'm thinking, all right, now it's time to get pretty big. I can at least size. So all I did was I had the 430 line as kind of my ideal entry, and I shorted a bounce towards it, shorted a bounce towards VWAP, right? Because these are now lines. It's broken under VWAP, under all my resistance levels, and covered into this 390 support, which I have drawn right here. On the next trades, all I did was wait, be patient, instead of shorting every little bounce up in here. Again, if you can be patient for your ideal lines, look what happens. Boom. Right? Now, I kept that 430 line drawn all day, right? All I did was shorten to VWAP, and I thought to myself, 430 is the first line really over VWAP, so that's the area I need to get out if I'm wrong. So after I had these first two initial entries here and covered it just in a support, look, I'm not being greedy. I paid myself in full and took my money and ran. I'm not going for an all-day fader. I'm not going for a home run. I'm going line to line, right? All of you guys are so concerned with getting 30, 40, 50 cents. Guys, I'm gonna make 40 cents. I'm gonna make 20 cents, 30 cents, 20 cents, 20 cents, whatever. I'm gonna add up over $1 in gains just by going line to line, and now I don't run the risk of losing my day. And look if you pay attention, that 430 line, which was key in pre-market, was very key at this. Look what happened when it broke it. It went to the moon, right? You have to know where to get in, get out, and where to stop. Guys, in my opinion, I give like VWAP and stuff, I give it like 10, 15 cents on stocks like from like 3 to 6. I give it very small range on a reclaim because that's why I have an automatic. If I'm shorting VWAP again, I have an automatic hard stop for minimum 30 cents. I mean, maximum 30 cents away. I have some that even goes tighter. Like all of you guys we reclaim VWAP and you start shorting every line again. Honestly, guys, the best thing, in my opinion, you can do, stop out for break even or the tiniest loss. Because if you shorted 415 and you covered at 431 with a hard stop or whatever it was, I mean, that's a tiny loss. And then guess what? You would have missed all of this, and you could have taken advantage after the move had happened, right? Because you would have been clear-headed, although, holy fuck, I'm just saying this for the first time. What the hell? Jesus Christ. Okay, well, mine, even regardless, you would have had a tiny-ass loss, and you could have walked away. Today, I was up very, very nicely after just these initial morning trades, and you know what? If I didn't trade this because both Alex and I said it looks trappy, and I'm glad I didn't. But if I did, I would have liked to hope I would have shorted here and stopped out right above this line. I mean, that's really it, and I wouldn't have gave back barely anything. You guys need to get better with your stops. You got to stop out on these things. And also, a trick is, what I like to do, and I'm going to explain it on DLPN, you use size at your desired line, right? After that initial trade is done, you kind of need to size. I recommend sizing down. I don't recommend sizing so small that you don't make money, but I mean if you're using 2,000 shares, and let's say off this initial trade you get 2,000 shares and you get a really nice move, these next bounces, I'm only recommending using I revert back to minimum 50% size. Like I might say 2,000 is my max, I'd use 1,000. Sometimes I even just use my 30% size and let it add up, because after the initial emotional move, you don't want to be a part of any sort of trapping movement. That's how I feel. I feel like it's easier to nail and bail the big move. After that, you can't just be sizing into everything. It just doesn't work that way. Not very many guys can do that. You'll be sweating your balls off. It's just not worth it. So DLPN, my other trade today, this one was weirdly enough kind of the moneymaker. It was a very, very big one. So I have videos on VWAP projections. Again, I don't really want to feel like going over it, but if a stock, if a stock is so broken at the open and it has a long way to go up to VWAP, that's generally the sign for me that I want to get in, right? Like I want a shorted VWAP projection. So the lines that I had this 980 line. This is actually important for me to put the VWAP back. That was one of my entries. Okay. So this stock was so broken, and I had this 980 level and this 950 level drawn right here. Okay. Can you see where I got those? 980 was right here, and 950. Now we go to the 1 minute. So all morning, my idea was to scale into VWAP, right? And use size at VWAP. Because 980 was $1 away from the bottom. And I figured I can scalp around in here, but if it gets to my line, excuse me, I'm gonna use size, and I'm gonna basically just risk a break of 10, because I figured if it got over 10, we could see up here. And that way I was giving it some range. On a $10 stock, you need to give it some range. You can't just short 15-cent stops. That's different than the one I just showed you. So I figured I'm gonna hit it at my line after a rejection, and then risk 10. Basically, was my idea. To be honest, if volume had come in and we reclaimed that 980, I could have stopped out as well. I would like to think I would, but I know that's where my hard stop initially was at 10. So what I did was I shorted a starter at $9.30 with the intention of shorting 950 and 980, 30% size and scaling in. So what I did was I shorted 10% at 930. I was going to go 10%, 10%, 10%. So I would have had like a, 950s average, 960, 30% size. And if it rejected and gave me confirmation, I'd get in. This to me is my favorite. It touched my line exactly, right? It touched my line exactly and stuffed. Volume on both, red candles, loved it. Looked like a great rejection. And all I did, I hit the bid and got in. These are the Alex specials, man. He lets these wicks show him it's done, and it's rejection, and then boom. And then I covered into my line a third, and I covered the rest almost $1 later, or whatever, 80 cents later, 70 cents later, right? It was that simple. Boom, bing, in, out, cover at my lines. And also, if you look, I didn't cover for no reason. There's a fucking line there. Line there. 920, 910, where my covers were at, right? Just remember, guys, you need to start keeping this simple. If you aren't just waiting for your levels, you're always going to have trouble. You're always going to have trouble. If you're too early, if you're too late, you're always going to have trouble. But if you can just be patient for your spots and wait for those confirmations, you're going to get a lot more comfortable in the trading seat, because if you have a good entry, everything else will come with it. Good entries will lead to allowing you to be more patient, allowing you to trade bigger, everything. So hope this video helped, and I'll see you guys in chat.